Hello, everybody. Let's welcome Ling Giang to Teh Tarik with Anagha.
Hi.
Hi.
What are we doing today, Ling Giang?
Okay, we're deep diving into Singapore politics. Actually, it's not a deep dive, it's a really fast, brief introduction. Okay, let's get started. Okay. To understand Singaporean politics, let's go back in time and discuss Operation Cold Store.
Yeah, right. Like for the merger, Lee Kuan Yew had to do a lot of convincing with both the Singaporeans and the Malaya president Tunku. Tunku eventually agreed under the condition that all the Barisan Socialist members were arrested. 113 people were arrested without a trial, and that was called the original sin of PAP.
And Malaysia didn't leave Singapore in the cold like PAP had pleaded it to be. Singapore and Malaysia disagreed in terms of economic development, political philosophy, and personality clashes between Lee Kuan Yew and other Malaysian leaders.
Yeah, so now that we've understood how PAP secured its initial dominance, let's understand and see how they maintained that hegemony.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. The most important ideology is survivalism. PAP had always painted a vulnerable Singapore inside and out.
Yeah, but actually Singapore had been a thriving part since the 14th century, and it has always been a part of the Malay world.
Meritocracy is also another ideology.
Yeah, that's the formula for elitism.
Yeah. But one thing that causes an increasing unhappiness towards PAP is the widening inequality in Singapore society. This calls for a shift away from the ideology of meritocracy and towards a shift in mindset.
Agreed. Another ideology PAP embraces is multiculturalism, but only if ethnic group interests do not override national interests. PAP also veers towards assertive secularism.
Hmm, I see, yeah. And to further understand Singapore's political system, we got to remember why they can't do it like the West. TAP uses the excuse of survivalism to argue that democracy slows them down and when they got to be nimble. They play up the Asian value system when respecting the authority is more important than individual freedom.
Yeah, that takes us to electoral engineering. GRCs are formed by geographical boundaries that are prone to gerrymandering. Each GRC votes for their team of MPs to mitigate racial voting.
Yeah, and some seats in the parliaments are reserved for the best performing losers in the election as well. Some seats are reserved for non politicians in various sectors to encourage more alternative views.
Right. And one of the reasons why people keep voting for the PAP is because of economic prosperity. It's a social contract. Singapore's government agencies also maintain a very low level of corruption due to high salaries and harsh punishments.
You're right. And it's worthy to note that other countries, the press plays the huge role of an invigilator. But in Singapore, both the press and the trade unions are partners of the government.
Yeah, and we should also discuss Chinese privilege. Some says that it exists because of the persistent stereotypes and better opportunities, whereas others deny it, saying the Chinese gave up so much for Singapore.
Hey, but no one can deny that systemic discrimination against the Malay was the result of British colonialism, and now some Malay people internalize these negative lies about themselves.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Oh, and why does the opposition usually fail in the face of PAP?
Well, probably because the PAP has the edge because they have quality candidates, they have a good track record, at least in economic performance, and they have more influence over the media.
Huh? We can't forget the sophisticated electoral engineering.
Right.
Hey, but on the grassroots level, why do Singaporeans continue voting for the opposition?
Because they're in a climate of fear where they always afraid of crossing the OB marker. And at the core, they also believe in PAP ideologies, actually.
And speaking of OB markers, aside from the non negotiable core ideologies, Singapore activists have been successful in matters such as the reappeal of 377A and that nurses can wear hijabs.
That's awesome. Hey, but remember personal slandering the government, thinking when Catherine Yun asked whether it's Lee Kuan Yew's government or Goh Chok Tong government, it's not allowed.
That's right. So it seems like we've come to the end of what Prof. Walid has been teaching us.
Yeah, actually, he taught us so much more, but this is all I can talk about in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, bye.